Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unmute 10002. I'm Wasir. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I'm a volunteer at Undercurrent, an art space at 70 John Street in Brooklyn, New York.
And I'm Adriana. My pronouns are she, they, and I'm also a volunteer with Undercurrent. Wasir and I will be leading you through today's events, 10002's concluding event for Unmute, the unveiling. Can all of the artists please turn their cameras on? Welcome.
Hello, artists! Unmute is an online residency that paired artists who have never met to collaborate on a singular project using Zoom as a way to create ideas and communicate.
We've been watching the 3-month creative narrative unfold in a series of video recordings shared on our website, unmute.nyc, to gain insight into the creative process so frequently hidden from the viewer. Today, we will be seeing the culmination of these artists' projects in whatever shape that might look like. A prototype, a blueprint, or a slice of it.
So let's begin the presentations. Next is Team Branch with Alex Mirutziu from Romania and Sydney Shavers from New York City.
Hi, hello. Sydney, do you want to go first, or how should we do it?
If you want to start, go ahead, yeah.
Could I? Yeah, well, let's see if I can share my screen. First of all, I had a wonderful, wonderful collaboration with Sydney. I mean, it seemed that we clicked, you know, in this collaboration, and not only intellectually, but also on the approach of the materialization of the whole project. So. And I may add that there was a proposal quite from the beginning, I think, and Sydney would maybe confirm after that we wanted to challenge ourselves beyond this kind of interface medium to produce a sort of object, to produce like real life kind of object, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so for our project, we are planning on having an installation because we both are really interested in objects and their relationship to, I'd say, like reality or like use. Is that right, Alex? Do you think something like that?
Oh yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah. So I am, so Alex is making some screen work and some objects that he'll talk about, but I am making some chairs in relationship to these objects and also plinths. So we're thinking a lot about, again, like the way objects are arranged and this idea of installation and exploring like concepts of language through an installation. And this idea of embodiment is huge, I think, in our work. So yeah, installation really made sense. So I'm planning on making chairs. These are prototypes of chairs that kind of act as a transparent or green screen or something that could be projected. But what's really interesting about these chairs is that they're very uncomfortable to sit in, like after a while, and you are aware that you are sitting in a object that is supposed to take the place of a chair or functions in that same way. So on my end, like I'm hoping to affect the viewer that's watching Alex's videos to think about also their placement in relationship to his videos, but also to the way that their body exists in relationship to like a chair and that like transparency of a chair, you know, that idea of reality and concepts of reality in regards to objects. And also, yeah, so I'm also showing this chair, which has, I'm planning on making green chairs as well. So not only will there be a Photoshop background on transparency on some of these chairs, there will also be like green screen, which I think is another type of embodiment or another type of like experience of like the digital and like that disembodiment. A lot of people say that separate, I know right now AFK and IRL, which I think is really interesting because, you know, the internet is a physical object. It isn't, you know, it is a system that we have a physical relationship to. So this concept of reality and that way that we separate that is something that really interests me. And this idea of potential. And I'm gonna throw this over to Alex.
As a performer and a visual artist as well, I was keen on experimenting with the notion of the in-between spaces and the need for infrastructure in order to acknowledge some sort of presence, and as well as to come back to myself. I was interested in how discomfort can create content, and I guess here I'm very I'm close to what to the works of Sydney, particularly the chairs, and the idea of the invisibility and the potential in the object. And so what I wanted was to create this sort of devices that you see here, that can be seen here, recording some sort of presence, some sort of moment in time of a specific object outside of myself, but of course coming back, acting as a mirror to myself. And the whole let's say game was around the idea of the normative design and what can be functional and unfunctional, and as I said before, in a way which can also kind of bring new ideas and creative content. In this particular work that stands in correlation with Sydney's work is I keep a moment of silence for a specific kind of moment in the life of something else, what is called the other. I played it quite a lot with the idea of memorializing and of recuperating some form of the past.
Yeah, just like, this idea of moment of silence and memorialization and recognition of patterns between like the both of us through the chairs and your video and the objects that will come from that. You know, I'm planning on making plinths that sit the objects that Alex is making that hold this potential. And the plinths will also be transparent or a green screen background, so that those connections between an object that is full of potential but doesn't really exist, and an object that doesn't exist but its function is to support potential or support an object that holds more power. So we're playing a lot with like power notions, I think, as well. So yeah, and I think that ties up the relationship to language as well, and the way that the importance of embodiment in terms of carrying through language or passing language on, or the development of language.
Thank you, Team Branch.
We'd like to thank all of the artists and consultants who have participated throughout this project, and to the invisible energy and support behind Unmute 10002, specifically EUNIC New York and Undercurrent and its team.
This project was realized with financial support from EUNIC, European Union National Institutes for Culture, Europe's network of national cultural institutes and organizations, with 36 members from all EU member states. A special thanks to the Austrian Cultural Forum New York, the Czech Center New York, the Consulate General of Estonia in New York, Delegation of Flanders to the USA, Wallonia-Brussels International in New York, Goethe-Institut New York, the Lithuanian Cultural Institute, Arts Council Malta in New York, Polish Cultural Institute New York, Romanian Cultural Institute, the Hope Recycling Station, and the Jindr Chalupecky Society, who all co-organized this project. And finally, additional special thanks to the European Union Delegation to the United Nations.
And now for our closing remarks, a message from Dorian Vernea, the EU National Institutes for Culture New York Cluster President, followed by a brief video message from Undercurrent.
Unmute 10002 has shown brilliantly how relevant and alive art can be in an adversarial times. It has shown that without being muted, it can speak in a loud and powerful voice. At the same time, the project has shown the power of collaboration among Europeans, as well as between Europeans and Americans, something that we should cherish and continue. On behalf of EUNIC New York presidential team, I would like to congratulate all artists involved, all EUNIC New York members, and of course, last but not least, our partner Undercurrent for demonstrating the power and resilience of creativity in times of crisis.
Zdraví, gratulace, velká gratulace, congratulace.
Félicitations.
Europa!
Lietuva!
Europa.
Wallonia!
Thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Oh, come on, guys, make some sound.
All right, one more time. Bye-bye.